guess it is.
So how did they, you know, because you got commissioned as a lieutenant junior grade, is it because your education, they bumped you up?
Yeah,
That's what I figured,
had a master's degree in cybersecurity.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah, yeah, he's a communications background. Yeah, I saw all the way up through. It looks like 2024 is going to be when you finish the doctorate.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I looked at it recently, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm like, I'm not sure if I can do all the requirements on top of work. I was talking to Senior about it, and I'm like, well, you know, maybe if we get because we're still trying to hire some instructors, and I go, maybe if we get them in, I'll try to attempt to do it. But no, it's great that you're doing it now. Yeah, you're still working for DHS too, right?
Yeah. I just started working for them back in August of last year.
Right.
That I was working for the Navy.
Yeah, look at your Navy.
I think that kind of helped me out with getting commissioned.
That's awesome.
For them, so. That's how I met all these.
Is that how you met those guys? Yeah. And they actually kind of sponsored you to talk to you a little bit about it?
Yeah,
that's great.
Actually, the one guy that was in my office with me, he actually went to the same program 2 or 3 years ago. Right. And he got commissioned the same way.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's good. They're looking out for you guys. They're taking care of y'all. All right. Well, I guess I want to thank everybody for coming here today. I guess on behalf of John, I am Lieutenant Colonel Kirk Hughes, and the reason why I'm involved in this whole thing is because Shay is actually one of our cadets at Lake Worth Community High School, done phenomenal things, and he had told me that his uncle was preparing to receive a commission in the United States Navy Reserve, and he asked me if I'd be a part of this, and I jumped at the opportunity. I haven't done something like this, honestly, for another officer, and honestly, it's been a long time. We do enlistment, oath of enlistment, quite a bit with some of our folks that work for us in our squadrons. I've done a number of those, but honestly, I cannot remember the last time I did one where I was offering the commissioning oath or oath of office to another officer. So to me, it's a great honor. I'm glad John reached out, and I'm glad to be a part of this today. What I do want to talk about real quick before we actually do the oath of office, I kind of want to talk a little bit about him, and I know you guys know him, but I'm not sure like how much he has shared about his experience in not only in the Air Force, but now starting his future career with the Navy. He shared with me a little bit of his background, like a military resume, which was unbelievable. And I got to say that. I don't say that word often. Shay will confirm that. You know, if these guys do something pretty good, I'll say, hey, you did an adequate job, right? Don't want their heads too big or anything like that. But in this case, I got to say what John has done over the last roughly, I'll say 11 years, because his career started out with the Air Force around 2011. He's obviously really well versed in the communications world. And I'll tell you what, that is not an easy career field to be a part of, the stuff that he is working on. It takes a lot to find somebody that's very capable and very competent in those particular tasks that he has to execute day to day. And I'll tell you, even from his first job, which is, I gotta say, he's one of the luckiest guys in the world. He was at Aviano Air Base in Italy. Nobody gets that assignment right away, except somehow he managed to make that happen. So that was lightning in a bottle, I gotta say, because most of the airmen you talk to, they're heading off to Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, or somewhere out in Montana, or F.E. Warren in Wyoming. I mean, it's just you don't hear about these people getting assigned right out the gate to go to Aviano Air Base, Italy. Obviously, they saw what he was capable of. And by the way, I should say, well, I'll say it here in a moment. His next duty station was in Colorado. All right, Schriever Air Force Base. I believe it's now Schriever Space Force Base. I think they're now a Space Force Base fully. And again, another absolutely fantastic run that he had there. Deployed, looked like, actually, I think it was later on you started really hitting the deployment button, right?
No, it was the year after, or the same year I left.
Yeah, which is about after 1 year. You did about 1 year there. Did you do a Palace chase? I hate to turn this into an interview, but
it was a Palace front.
There you go.
I finished my enlistment and then went straight into the reserve.
Straight in the reserve. So good stuff there. Kind of moved around the reserves a little bit. Looks like spent some time up in New York, MacDill Air Force Base, and where am I missing? One more.
I deployed a few times.
Deployed a few times during there. Saw a lot of time at LUD in Qatar. So like I said, definitely wasn't shying away from the overseas time, which just shows like, hey, I'm willing to step up. And now here again, like I said, while all that was going on, his time in the reserves, he was actually working as a GS-12, which is a very high-level position, quite frankly, especially for somebody as young as he is. Working for the U.S. Navy as a government civilian. So they clearly saw what his capabilities were and said, hey, this might be an opportunity for you, maybe to become an officer in the United States Navy Reserve, which is in fact what he started to pursue, is going, hey, threw his hat in the ring. Now, before I get too far, because this is kind of cool to me, because you don't see much of this in the Air Force except for a couple of the specialty career fields, like if you're an attorney or you're a medical, maybe in the chaplains or something like that, coming in as an advanced grade as an officer, right? Most people that commission into the Navy, they come in as an ensign. However, based on his education, he came in one step up as a lieutenant junior grade, which is, again, they recognize what he's got. And when I started reading his educational resume, I'm like, who is this guy? Now I got to meet him, because he's knocked out his community college of the Air Force associate's degree. So he actually got his degree through the Air Force. Really quickly went on, got his bachelor's degree from, I believe, was at University of South Florida. Then went on to University of Southern New Hampshire, picked up a master's degree. Now at Marymount University, going to get his doctorate. So I don't think there's really much left for him to do once he achieves that, because he's checked all the other boxes, right? So fairly amazing. I got to say, for me to get my master's degree, I think it took pretty much 2 decades after I graduated high school. I was kind of like I was on the slow boat, I guess. He was much more aggressive with this stuff. So done great stuff. It's a pleasure for me to be here today. It's great to see all the family and friends out here today. Shay, like I said, thanks again for passing the word on this. Hopefully we get the audio on this thing, because we have the wind whipping. But what we'll do is we'll knock out the oath of office. And after that, like I said, I'm going to pass it off for John to say a few words, obviously, on his part. And then we'll take it from there. All right? Ready to go? Sorry, so we'll face each other. Hopefully you guys get the shot here. All right, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, John Roy.
Having been appointed a lieutenant junior grade.
Having been appointed a lieutenant junior grade.
In the United States Navy.
United States Navy.
Do solemnly swear.
Solemnly swear.
To support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
To support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And to bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That you take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservations.
Without any mental reservations.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
That you will well and faithfully execute.
That I will well and faithfully execute.
The duties of the office that you're about to enter.
The duties of the office that I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, John.
Sir.
There it is. All right. Hey, round of applause. There we go.
Well, everything about my background, you guys know I've been doing this stuff for over a decade now. Big change. Obviously different uniforms. It's been a long, hard road, and I really appreciate all you guys who supported me at one point or another. Whether you give me a place to stay for a time, or help me out with getting stuff done. I really appreciate it, and it's great to actually be here and have you guys all at a promotion ceremony, because I've never had anybody from the family at a promotion ceremony in over a decade. So I really thank you guys for coming out, and I love every one of you guys. Thank you very much. That's all I got.
Here you go. All right.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to lunch at Don Ramone's, so I don't know how many people